Boom, boom. This is kind of really welcome back to the channel. All right, we got a little bit of Soul Land Reloaded up today, and we do, in fact, have the new character. As I mentioned yesterday, I thought we might be getting it, but it wasn't positive. Well, we actually did. Let's take a look at what we got. So it's Rongrong, Divine King Ning Rongrong. So, pretty good character. In terms of SP, might not be one of the top characters, but any one of the SP characters are going to be pretty good. So we could, as always, the thing's the same. So we've got Master of the Glass Palace, Divine King. She's the main, but we can switch based on whichever character we're dropping. Like I said, I've already got Tangsan. Was not interested in Ma. So we're going to switch over to and confirm. We're going to continue pulling on Wu, because she is considered one of the most powerful SP characters out there. So we're going to go do that. I've already went and got the actual summons. Like I say, it's 9,000 just to get, I think it's 15, and then you get the other 5 just by simply running the events. If you want to see those that's where you do the pools. This is inside of here. Do the Royal Hunting Ground right here, and you can get another 5. So for a total of 20, which is what we've got there. So basically, just go ahead and do the pools real quick and see what we got, and then we'll go over a little bit about some of the other stuff that we're going to be seeing. So we switch back to Wu. Okay, so we're going to do a 10 draw on Wu. Okay, so 6, not a very good pool in terms of that, but we did get some huge shards as well, so that's promising. And then we got a 50. Okay, so yeah, that's just the way it goes. So we're at 118, so we're going to be a little bit close, but we'll get her next time. Be able to get to 20 shards from within the actual store, so we'll get her on the next bout. So confirm that. So we've got 118, and we go to the exchange shop, and we purchase the chest. The chest has all of the previous characters plus Rongrong in them, so you can just purchase exchange at max, and you get 10, and then we'll take the 10 for her, and that'll give us 128, which means we'll just probably so we'll need 22. Probably get her next week, maybe. Guaranteed to get 10 in the pool, so we're going to need to get 12. So yeah, that should be something that we can easily get 12 in two in pools. Shouldn't be much of a problem as long as we just get a 5 or 2. We should be okay. So we'll plan on getting her next. It'll be next week. In between the introduction of the new character and the next Divine set pool is usually a week and a half. So we'll get her sometime middle of next week, not this week coming up, following week. So that's good. Everything else is pretty much the standard. It looks like they got a standard format. We've got the God Trials up. Definitely want to participate in this simply because of the fact that the shop is really good. There's some really good stuff in here. All this stuff can be useful, and you can clear out most of this stuff if you do fairly well within the actual event. Celebration gifts. This is another festival event. Again, just a standard currency that they're going to give you. They're only going to give you 4 of these. However, if you take a look at this, something interesting I noted is that you can actually get some shards for the characters. This is what is interesting about this, but that's 74. You're going to have to spend, of course, quite a bit of money. But if you look in the actual exchange here, you can actually get some shards for Wu. They're coming out with the chest pretty fast. I mean, they just introduced Rongrong today. Okay, Wu has been the last character, and all of a sudden they're throwing a chest with her in it. That's exceedingly fast, a lot faster than the chests that come out. I mean, we're still not seeing all the chests for Triple S Oscar. There's still, I mean, it's most of the times you get it and see it, but there's still some events and stuff where you're still seeing the chest that does not have Oscar in it, or Hugh in it for that matter. So it's really good to see that they're being. You're gonna have to spend a little bit for this because you're only gonna get 4 of these federal gold coins. So you're gonna have to purchase with money to get this to get the shards if you want it. Okay, so because you're going to have to purchase some of those federal gold coins, they're only going to give you 4. So you'll be probably using most of those right here, maybe to get something like that, because the only 4 that you're going to get are in the actual login right here that you get on the first day. As you can see, they do not give you any more of them. They will be giving you some of these the coupons, so hold off on that. But yeah, they're only going to get 4 of these, so you're going to have to purchase these inside of this pack here. You'd have to purchase 2 of these 99-cent ones to actually get 6. That would give you 6, which would give you, combined with the 4 that you got, that would give you 10. That would give you enough to actually purchase one of those actual things if you need some shards for one of the others. Which is, you know, depends on what you're looking for. But yeah, they've got a lot of good stuff in here. I mean, you get $30, you can get 60 of them. So, you know, but you know, you're going to have to purchase money. So I haven't decided what, you know, I'm probably just going to go ahead and use this to get some of these. I don't really have anything else planned for them. Okay, but they do have one other event up inside of Time Limited. They've got the actual Super Monday event up, which is always the case. And they've got the active wheel up, which is always the case. But they've also thrown in a Time Limited group buy. So right when they have a Divine Pools for your SP, which costs you 9,000 gems to get your hands on those 15, they then throw in a Time Limited group buy. Most of the stuff in here is really good. I would suggest going for it. This is a Hugh chest. Can't get Oscar in this chest, but you can get everybody but Oscar. For me, it's good because I'm going for Hugh. This is an SP chest. This is all the triple S, so it's good. This is Divine Tool, so it's you know, worth it. This is a chance to get your hands on some shards for the Chaos Bird. If you're trying to bring the Chaos Bird up, you probably are trying to still work on that. The Spirit Soul events don't happen very often, so none of the Spirit Souls for the Triple S are anywhere near being maxed out. The Chaos Bird is, of course, the most awesome one here. They just don't have many shards for it. As you can see, you know, 140 shards, but considering you only get like 20 or 30 each event, it's going to take a really long time to hit the 4-star in that. But you start working on it right now. I've got the Enlightenment maxed out, so it's still beneficial for me to use it, so that's why I'm focusing on it. And then, of course, a bunch of events inside of here, as always. Soul Master Sale. You purchased these. This is the 9,000, but they also had an Oscar chest in here. You can get 20 shards for him. You use it for Hugh as well, because you can start working on her divine skill if you've already got her. So it's it's something to partake of. Really, we're still not seeing any way to get the hands on the actual 100k soul rings except through purchasing money. Okay, so we'll have to see exactly if the next Forge event we do get some soul rings where we can get our hands on those 100k ones. Because that's going to be the biggest obstacle with any of your SP characters, is getting the actual 100k soul rings to level up the skills, because the skills are, you need those soul rings to level up the skills. But as you get those SP characters, even at base, they're powerful enough that it'll enable you to advance through the hunting ground, so that you can get up in roughly, as I've said before, get right up into getting close to these. Okay, and you'll start seeing the drops for these 100Ks inside of these. If you start spending 10, 20, 30 tokens to sweep them, you'll start seeing them appear. There's really, back in here, there's just really not, it's got to be like a 0.5% chance or something like that. It's just ridiculously low, even though it says it's a rate up. I have not seen it. I think I've only gotten one, and I've spent hundreds of tokens back in here. Most of the ones I've gotten came from, I think I actually got 2 or 3 from right here. In the last event, I managed to get up to this. I just decided to go ahead and save the tokens and wait until I got Wu before I decided to go ahead and start focusing on it. Because once you've got Wu unlocked, you'll be able to utilize her inside of there. And since she's one of the most powerful of the SP characters, at least that's what I'm hearing from people who play the China server, I would expect that advancement to possibly up into here might be something that you can do with a couple of SPs on your team. So we'll have to wait and see with that. But so I should be getting her next week. Not this week, coming up the following week in the middle of it. So probably Wednesday and Thursday of the week after next. That's when I should be getting her. Because that's when the next draw will be. And we'll go from there. Should be getting this pretty soon, actually. I'm very close to completing that. I actually did complete that today. So that's the 20 shards. And it did not reset. So 4, it looks like 4 max for this one. And 3 max for this one. Hopefully they'll be resetting these in the future because there's a chance to get some of those tokens, 100k soul rings, inside of this event. So I now have enough to complete a set of SP Soulbone armor for Wu whenever she comes out. So if you look in the bag, I'll have 80. Right here. 80. You need 20. 4 pieces. 80. 85. So I got 5 extra. So I'll be able to complete a full Soulbone set for that. Makes them exceedingly powerful. You definitely want to focus on that since the skills will be limited due to the acquisition of the 100k soul rings being so guarded at this point. Focusing on the soul bones, immortal herbs, armor, all that stuff becomes more important because you can't focus on the actual skills. So you want to focus on everything other than that, which is what I did with Tang San. I've managed to get his skills up because the burst came up, so you got 3 1s and 3 on that one. So I managed to get that, but I've also focused on I've got him max level at 119. Cultivation, as you can see, I'm keeping the cultivation up. I've completed the physical skills. I've got an immortal herb set on him. Okay, very, very close to being maxed out on all this stuff. So as you can see, I'm focusing on making making him powerful in other regards. And as you can see, it paid off in spades because he's double what Hugh is in terms of his BP. So I'm expecting that. So getting Wu, focusing everything on opposite sets. I'm going to be putting a triple S set that I have on Hugh, a triple S Immortal Herb set that I've worked on. I'm going to be putting that on Wu. That's this set right here. This is a fully maxed set of triple S Immortal Herbs. Been working on this for quite some time, but I got it fully maxed out except for the cultivation. No, it's the Burst Spirit portion that I don't have done. Yeah, Burst Spirit. Because I've got Inspired done, Cultivation done, and working on getting it upgraded. But that takes time because you need S-Herbs, and it takes like 24 S-Herbs. So it takes a little bit of time to build those up. But as you can see, I've got maxed in stars. So I'm working on getting it. But the actual portions of it that really add to the percentages are maxed out. So I'm going to roll this over onto Wu. Okay, and then I'll be moving up an SS plus set that I have up onto Hugh to keep her. And it'll be Wu is the most powerful. Tang San will be second. Hu will be third. And then the next character will be either Evil Eye or Enming. Just basically determining which will give me the most damage. That's what I'm going for. Don't really need a healer in PvE, so that's what I'll be focusing on. I'll try both, see which one works the best. I do get a little bit more damage out of Dai because he's an attacker, while Enming is more of a tank. A lot of the skills that Evil Eye uses are attack skills. All of his skills are attack skills, so he just naturally does damage every time he moves. But Enming's a tank, so he has several skills where he just boosts his HP, throws up shields, and buffs and stuff. So he doesn't attack. He only has, I think, 1 attack skill. that he uses. So he doesn't do attacks very often. As such, he doesn't do that much damage, but that's not what he's in there for. He's a tank. He's in there for survivability. And survivability for tanks and healers are something that you need to look for inside the PvP arena, but it's not something you really need at this point in the game. When you're at 100, level 119, and you've got max soulbone sets on your characters, it's not really something that you need to really worry about, because you have enough protection and you have enough healing just from other sources. As such, we don't healing's not something that's really needed that much inside of PvP. But we'll put Wu in place of Enming, and we'll see how we go. If survivability becomes an issue or something like that, then we'll have to just put Wu in place of Dai and bring Enming back in to give us a little bit more of protection. It's just, it's just what it is. You can try them both and just make a determination as what's best for whichever way, for whichever level you're at. I mean, if you're just starting out, you're going to need healer. If you haven't got to 119 where you can start maxing out things and you haven't maxed out soulbone sets, you're going to need healers and you're going to need tanks early in PvE. But once you get up and build them up and start getting the herbs and the soulbone sets and the physical skills and all that stuff, you can usually get by without having them. So we're going to see how effective that is. I haven't had a healer for quite some time. When I got Hugh, I took out Ling Ling, so I haven't had a healer or an attack buffer in quite some time. So I've just been running with a tank. Have not had any issues whatsoever. None of the characters have come even close to dying in the normal phases. So I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference. And the survivability for Wu is off the charts. All of the survivability for SP characters seems to be off the charts. So that's something we can look at here. Let's take a look at Rongrong survivability inside the handbook. We've got Rongrong right here. And let's do an overall attributes. Interesting. And check the portrait. And as you can see, survivability is max, which is of course that. We're going to see team here, and we're going to see assist. Okay, so we're going to have some healing. Okay. Details, we've got a shield. 96 per times the lowest health and reduces the damage. So we've got a shield and damage reduction. Releases each randomly selected master to heal, 4250. Not sure I like random. But if that random one does actually hit somebody who needs it, and it's the lowest health, the increase will be increased by 50 cents, which is nice. Provides another shield. Primarily focusing that on the one with the lowest health. Using the lowest health 25 times while increasing the critical resistance by 15 and 30% critical damage resistance. So as you can see, not much in terms of direct healing, but shielding with some healing. Definitely support, not surprising, but survivability is off the charts. Okay, so definitely if you're looking for damage, this is probably not the character you want to go with. Because as you can see, she's not going to give you much of that, but you definitely will survive a lot longer with her in your team. So if you're in lower levels, she's definitely one of the ones that you might want to look at, just being an SP character. That's really good. That's really good. So she's got a pretty good skill set for what you're going to be facing as you start getting higher and higher into the actual game. But like I say, once you get up so high, it's just really not healing. And these SP characters all have excellent survivability. And I haven't seen any issues with that at all as well. So I can pretty much hold that to be self-evidently true at this particular point. We'll have to see once we get farther up into the game. Places like the Royal Hunting Ground and things like that, that we haven't defeated yet. You should be beating the Treant by now. And you shouldn't have any trouble and so forth. You should be able to do pretty good scores on your sect boss without dying. And you should be able to complete the actual sect event without dying as well too. So other than in the hunting ground, when you start getting up in the higher levels, there's really not anything that's challenging enough. Fortunately, you don't need to have the character inside of the hunting ground. The hunting ground is actually, for instance, if you take a look at the hunting ground, and just to show you this, I can't actually do it because it'll probably reset the game, but I can show you the setup. If you take a look at the things, you see that I have Oscar as an option, even though I don't have Oscar as one of my healers. I do have him because I have him. I can use him for healing, even though I haven't leveled him up. But as you can see, he's got the same BP as the other characters, so he's actually usable, and he does heal, and he's pretty much a good. So just getting the character allows you to utilize it inside the hunting ground. You don't have to level it up. Like I have Zoo as well, but I haven't leveled her up. But I still have the capability to use her. So in the hunting ground, just getting the character allows you to utilize that character as if it's fully limited, it's fully maxed out character, when you don't actually need it to be. So consider that. That might be something to consider. If you're trying to advance through the darkness and you're having trouble, maybe getting some of those other characters, using chests and whatnot for some of those characters, and just getting these 150 shards needed to summon the character. You don't have to level it up or anything, but just by summoning it, it'll be available for you inside of the darkness. So that's something to consider as well, because like I say, if you want to get those 100k soul rings, you need to really press forward inside of the darkness. That's really the only way to get them. And believe me, it gets really difficult up in these levels right here. I got up to 700k last time. Okay, that's the first place where I actually started noticing that I was getting the soul rings, and I needed a full hunting camp to do that. Okay, so and my hunting camp is nowhere near full, which is why I'm not even going to attempt to try it at this particular point. So yeah, something to consider. You can utilize the character fully maxed out inside of the darkness as long as you just have the character. You don't have to do anything with it. As I have not done anything with Oscar, and I haven't done anything with Zoo. I just have them, but I haven't leveled them up yet. So keep that in mind, that just getting them allows you to utilize them inside of the darkness, and that allow you to press forward. Okay, keep that in mind, and you might want to go ahead and try to get all those triple S characters that you feel that you need. At least get maybe Oscar or Zoo. Oscar being for healing, Zoo being for a little bit more attack. Okay, even though you don't have to worry about focusing on leveling them up, just get them, and once you summon them, they'll be available for your use inside of there. So keep that in mind. Okay, that's all I got. Go ahead and do the pools. Okay, the next pools next week, week after next will be really good, because, like I said, we'll be getting Wu at that time, and we'll start focusing on leveling her up and whatnot. So, like I say, you know, I got a 50 today, but if you get lucky and get 2 50s in one shot, maybe you won the first 10 and get on the second 10, you know, you can conceivably have a character in 2 days, and 2 events, 2 portions of the event. It just takes a while to get one. In this case, you know, I went through the first 3, didn't get much anything, but got pretty lucky today. So yeah, so we'll be snatching her up next week, I think. So that should be good. So we'll pop that. We'll go, of course, do on a video when that comes around. All right, so thanks a lot for watching. Remember to subscribe. Once you subscribe, you'll see the bell. Click on it. You get notified each time I drop a video. Kenrick coming at you from the corner, signing out.